one and I stand on that. You and me, babe, that's black on black.
And I just want to remind people who are listening, if you're just listening for the first time, welcome home. If you've been with us from day one, thank you for your fortitude. I'm rarely talking about the things I'm talking. So, for example, today I brought up Puffy. We're not talking about Puffy. Last week we brought up a comment by Umar Johnson. I'm not talking about Umar Johnson. Today we're going to talk about Cardi B, but I'm not talking about Cardi B. I'm talking about the way in which we engage with one another and what's the expectation, right? And I'm talking about a larger, deeper topic. I get some folk just, we hitting the headlines, and it's like, ooh, we're never having that conversation. That's too surface for you. You deserve to go deeper. You deserve a deeper manifestation of the things that we're thinking and feeling. And so I bring in reinforcement. That's why Dr. Black is here today. All right. Before we went to break, you talked about the seed.
That's right.
And not knowing what the harvest is going to be.
That's
Please repeat that.
Yes. It's a really, really, really poor farmer who would plant seeds and then be angry at his own harvest. But that's precisely what we do in America all the time. It was not always what Black people did, because at one point, Black people, we were the farmers. They forced us literally to raise the crops. But what most people don't know is in forcing us to learn the crops, we became masters of the seed. And that means then we knew not only the seed, we knew what it was going to give back to us. Right? That's extremely important. And it's really a metaphor. And that's really what American education is supposed to be. American education is supposed to teach children, discover what's in that seed before you plant it. That's called analysis. If you have to wait until the seed comes up before you know what you planted, right, you are going to always be on the back side. You're going to always be in reaction to the harvest instead of being in front of it. And I'm saying American culture does this all the time. We'll talk about, I don't want no crybaby husband. There are all kinds of ways whereby we plant the seeds of misogyny, we plant the seeds of patriarchy, we plant the seeds of racism. We do it all the time. And then when those seeds bloom, right, we're angry, we're mad. Oh my God, what happened here? What happened here? What happened here? And it's a very unintelligent culture. It's a very unintelligent people who do that. And I'm saying this whole thing with Puffy Combs, all of this, because really, truly, he was doing America's expectation of him. He was doing what people, and here's how you know, somebody has paid him millions to become that. Not a few $100s. Millions. Somebody paid him millions to become that. Every dollar was an ashe. Ooh.
Explain that. 866-801-8255. Every dollar was an ashe.
Yes, every time somebody buys an album that talks about bitches, right, that's an ashe to misogyny. Every time somebody paid, ooh, oh my God, Lord have mercy. It's very important. It's very important because what you support, right, reinforces its place in the world, in society. Right? This is extremely, extremely, extremely important. You cannot spend your money on a thing and then claim you hate it. You only hate it when it comes to dismantle you. But you have to be very, very, very careful because hatred knows no name. It simply seeks something to devour, and any person will do.
Ciao. We're here. Dr. Daniel Black is here. You know, it's wild. Today, the Black on Black, because we won't be here on Friday, on Black Friday. Last year on Black Friday, we were here, and I launched year and change ago, the Global Majority. It was initially a clothing. It wasn't even a clothing line. It was, a way for me on the radio to kind of lean into this notion that if you're going to put something on your body, it should embody, something positive. So the
Yes.
global majority was kind of like this thing, this mantra that I was hoping would just like spread. Like, what, we're not minorities, we're the global majority, we're everywhere, we're ubiquitous, we're like the seeds, spread everywhere. So
Absolutely.
I started with like honoring like Harriet Tubman and all these folk, but I soon realized that I'm not in the apparel business. Like, I can't, I can't. Your order didn't come in right. That ain't what I do. I
I
don't do
know
it
that's
well.
right.
I'm not good customer service. Let me just say that with my full chest. I'm sorry. I will never be good customer service. I'm just not, that's not who I am. Right. So I ran into this man from the music industry because, I used to do media training for
Right.
which was a whole other life that I had. And so I knew somebody at Universal, and she had these nice hoodies and stuff. I said, who did these for you? So she introduced me to this guy, and he has everything that I don't have. So to your point, walking in your purpose, but this man can now fulfill the vision that I have. So last year we did a black on black line, and it was black with black. And so this time it's going to be, the saying is freedom isn't free. Something's required of you. So I'm and we're going to honor people. And I was just thinking about this today because we're going to do this today. And then you're here and it's called Black on Black. And that's I can't even make this stuff up. I don't even understand. So I'm going down this rabbit hole of, like what's next. And I'm in the midst of a move. And I just put this to the side. And my mom has, she holds stuff for me. So I was going through some stuff that she, had put to the side for me. Shout out to my mom. And she had these ebony magazines in plastic. This one is from February 1979. Arnold is on the cover. Gary Coleman.
Yes.
What did he say? What is it, Willis? What you talking about, Willis?
What you talking about, Willis?
Yeah.
Plus, he's a Clark Atlanta University graduate.
Is he? All right.
Yes.
Well, this little cute, little pudgy face self is on the cover.
Yes.
And at the top, so it's Larry Holmes, the other heavyweight champ, is one of the big stories. But the top story, February 1979, and this Johnson publication, Ebony Magazine, cost $1.25. What men fear about women. This is the top story.
Mm-hmm.
And this is in perfect condition, by the way. Let me put it back in plastic because I don't want to ruin it. She also sent me the 100th anniversary, September 1963 Ebony special issue, the Emancipation Proclamation 100th issue. I have that too in plastic. But I was just thinking about that because I knew you were coming on, and I wanted to talk about Cassie. Rosalind Carter died, and then I found an entry point. But what men fear about women. They were talking about this in 1979 in Ebony Magazine. They had these psychologists come together to talk about, men's insecurity and fear of rejection. And now we have a whole wave on the heels of 79. We're entering the 50th anniversary of hip hop, right? On the heels of this come this, this music genre that is bravado, that is,
That's
and
right.
I'm gonna put women on leashes,
That's right.
hoes, and we got too short over here, and this one over, and Luke telling you your booty and all of this and all of that. And we planted these seeds, and then we're surprised at a harvest. I was sharing with you during the break that when I was in Ghana, I came back and had some Awari seeds because the Awari boards, which is I'm obsessed with, they give you these seeds, and I'm like, I wonder what would happen if I planted it. So I have these planters. So I put the seed in, and what came out of those was something so invasive that if it wasn't in a pot, it might have like gobbled up my entire yard.
Wow.
But yeah, you got to know what your seed is.
You got to know. You absolutely have to know. And the thing that's tricky is this: the earth will not lie for you.
What?
If you plant a seed, the earth is not going to give you back your intention. It's going to multiply the truth of what you planted.
Okay. All right. 866-801-8255. The earth will not lie for you. It will multiply.
Because people have good intentions.
Yes.
But the good intentions is not going to be the harvest.
Can we talk about that for a second? As we're getting into music, I'm also going to be introducing y'all to an artist today. His name is Kay Franklin, and we create the world that we want to live in. We can shape and mold the world in which we want to live, right? So I'm thinking about all of these structures, education, financial
Yes.
structures, and how they've been built to keep certain people in bondage, right? Even how the music industry set up, that Puffy was giving back masters. Why do you own somebody's gifts and talents? Why do you have control over the masters? Why do you have their masters to begin with?
Mm-hmm.
Because you help them do a thing. I'm gonna show you what it looks like to help somebody do a thing and take nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? Give it to, because
Right.
you should be the conduit, like you said. When you meet somebody, your talents and gifts should be in concert and to help the next person, right? So I thank you for that. But as I was thinking about that today, I read somewhere we used to do these top fives on the show, and it got us into disparaging people to raise up somebody else. So yeah, Anita Baker's better than so and so.
Right.
Larry's better.
Right.
I rather listen to Larry than Karen. And I'll say to somebody, why am I in it? Why you can't just praise Larry? Why you gotta say I'd rather listen to her than how am I supposed to feel about that? And I don't feel anyways, because Larry's my seed, so I feel good about that on these airwaves. She's not my seed anyplace else, but on these airwaves, that's something I planted. So I'm happy. I live for the day that somebody calls up and say, I heard about you from Larry, or I heard about you from Clay. That makes me feel like
Right.
mission accomplished. But that said, it's like, what's your
Right.
intent? Is your intent to get people to say, yeah, me too? Yeah, I'd rather listen to Larry than Karen. Or yeah, are you trying to hurt my feelings? Like, is that the intent? Like, how do you deal with intent when it's not conscious? Because I feel like we unconsciously do that to people all the time. Like, I could love Luther Vandross and not have to bring Freddie Jackson into the equation. Why I gotta bring Freddie in? Why Freddie in it?
In fact, people's problem, Karen, is to believe that the soul only needs one nutrient. It's like somebody arguing that
You're gonna have to repeat.
somebody arguing.
Wait,
Are you really trying to hurt cabbage's feelings?
Wait, hold on. You froze. You froze just as you were saying something that I know we need to hear. Please repeat that.
Okay. Yes. It's like someone arguing the difference between their preference between cabbage and broccoli. See, the body needs both of them. There's something cabbage has that broccoli doesn't. There's something broccoli has that cabbage does not. Where God is brilliant is God never puts all of anything in one thing. And that's the same thing that's true for the soul. The soul needs different nutrients from different things. We need different kinds of music from different people. We need different kinds of intellectual thought. It's like saying, oh, James Baldwin is smarter than Toni Morrison. That means you're dumber than both of them. Because the point is, you need to read both of them. There's an intellectual inheritance that your body absolutely requires from both authors, right? And so what I'm really saying is the beauty of life, it's like flowers. God is so brilliant that God never makes one of anything. Not one human, not one fish, we talked about this. But this is important because if a person is not very careful, they'll think that because they found something they prefer, it is most excellent. That is the sign that you don't know God yet. Because God never gets into the game of comparing. Because the game of comparison is a juvenile, childish game. The game of God is to gather up, not to compare.